Hi guys, for a while now I've been playing Bannerlord, and through my campaigns I decided that I want to figure out a tiny bit more about the troops. So I downloaded this custom battle mod that lets me choose what troops I want to put against each other. And then I want to test out, first of all, which were the better of the Imperial units, the Menavliatons against the Imperial Legionaries, because I noticed that when I ride into Menavliatons they really hurt a lot, and I was maybe considering that using Imperial Legionaries would be the wrong choice. So I'll be testing that. And after that I also want to compare the cavalry units of Imperials versus Vlandians, since I assumed that Vlandian would be better, but you're gonna figure out if that is true or not. So just stay tuned and you will see. Okay guys, here we are with the 500 Imperial Legionaries against the 500 Imperial Elite Menavliatons. They're just gonna charge straight into each other, and we just want to see kind of what happens. So let's see. Here we go. I am controlling the Legionaries, and the enemy is the 500 Menavliatons. Oh, the spears. That was pretty sick. I'm not going to use shield wall. You could use shield wall as well. But we got kind of a head start this time, seeing how the spears kind of just destroyed them. Well, it's pretty clear to see which troop win this match. I actually thought it would be different. I thought Menavliatons would bash down. That is just insane. Well, as you can see, it's pretty one-sided. Yeah, not a chance. Not a chance, guys. Wow. Interesting. Right. Well, pretty clear that Legionaries wins this battle. So if you want to choose between Legionaries or Menavliatons, it seems like Legionaries, just because of the range, the throwing their spears. Being able to do that took a lot of them out early, and then afterwards, with their amount of armor and having a shield, forming a line, everything like that. Interesting. Okay guys, here we are with 300 Imperial Elite Catagraphs against 300 Vlandian Banner Knights, which are the highest level units from Vlandia and from Imperial Empire, fighting against each other with the cavalry units. So I'm a bit curious to see how that goes down. They're just gonna charge straight at each other, and we just have to see how it goes. So let's see. I made myself die to have a better camera angle. I then gave Empire one more troop to even it out. So they are much more gathered as a group right now, since they had to charge for less time. But I can't see how that could not be to benefit of Imperial, since they should have more units hitting more of the same of the opposition's units. Yeah, here we go. So this is just I don't know, a huge cluster. It's like a mosh pit with people just trying to take each other down. But as you can see, it's pretty even still. The catagraphs are pulling out ahead a tiny bit, which is interesting. Which is definitely interesting. Oh man, they're pulling out ahead hard now. They're just bashing. That is pretty insane. I mean, I actually thought that Vlandia and Banner Knights are better, which they clearly aren't. Out of 300 all they pulled ahead, they only lost a fraction, while Vlandia is bleeding dry right now. So apparently Imperial cartographs are stupidly insane. Well, there you got it, guys. This battle is only gonna go one way, that is for sure. So it did only go one way. Imperial totally bashed Vlandia's cavalry in that fight. So to sum up, I think when you compare Menavliatons with the Imperial Legionaries, there are several things that kind of stands out. The first is that Legionnaires have throwing weapons. They can throw their spears or their javelins, which in the initial impact of the battle in the charge took down a lot of the Menavliatons early, which meant that they already got an edge from that. And when they then entered combat, they both used swords, one-handed swords. However, the Legionnaires had shields, and when they then have the same amount of armor, I also think Legionnaires has a tiny bit better one hand than Menavliatons, but when they then enter combat, the Legionnaires of course would win. You can even use a shield wall to completely turn the battle hard around. I did that in another simulation that I didn't throw in here. I had them use a shield wall, and it just destroyed the Menavliaton even faster. Menavliaton's biggest strength, I think, is their two-handed weapon, which is called Menavliaton, and it can be used to poke, and it can also be used to strike. And what you will see is that against cavalry or against footmen, when they have space for it, they will use this two-handed weapon, and it can do a lot of damage. But I think that once you enter like the cluster of a combat where they stand close, they're forced to use the one-handed, and they kind of lose their strength, or their pros kind of gets lost in that cluster in the battle. So I think that is why they get destroyed so hard. Too bad. And the Imperial cataphracts, I've been saying it wrong the whole time. Cataphracts, not catagraphs, but cataphracts are clearly better than Vlandian Banner Knights. I think that when the Banner Knight charged, they actually managed to take down some units at least, and Vlandia, I think, has a decent charge, but in a full out battle, it was fairly easy to see that cataphracts pull ahead. They also have a bit higher cost and salary, but it's not a lot. I mean, if you want the greatest army, then go for cataphracts. I also think it's easier to recruit Vlandian Banner Knights. So maybe in a super good situation, you'll go around recruiting both Imperial and Vlandian noble units, mixing that into a very powerful army, if you want cavalry at least. So that's it for me, guys. I hope you liked it, and that it informed you. Please like and subscribe, and see you some other time. Bye.